Welcome to the Bare Naked Women Show. I'm your co-host, Jen Sherman, along with
Pamela Sorensen.
BNW is a show/podcast, an online community where we openly and candidly discuss how to flourish and feel fabulous from the inside to our outside during a new normal. Every other week, we share tips, tricks, and advice, ideas, and solve problems on beauty and our overall health and wellness. Please join our conversation every other Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. EST on Facebook Live, and follow us on social, of course, and let us know the topics that you want to hear about. And with that, I will give it over to my co-host to dive in.
Yes, I'm going to introduce Kristina Bouweiri. I'm so excited. Okay, sorry. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Not only because I'm so excited, but I'm also so paranoid about my dog about to bark. So I'm like a little distracted. But anyway, good. She's calming down. Yes. Kristina, welcome. We're so thrilled to have you. And my introduction of you. Well, your personal title, cruise director, by the way, I think is so perfect because you are the cruise director of so many people's lives, your friends, your family. Just people turn to you because you are always like, you're at the helm. You know where to go. You know what to do. You know how to bring people together. You know how to connect people. And there's never a question that we should trust you to do that as the cruise director. Julie, the cruise director, if you will, from Love Boat, one of my favorite shows from way back when. But we met many years ago. Of course, I think it was through our mutual friend, Peter Abrams, from, when he was back at Modern Luxury. And I knew that day when I had lunch with you that I said, oh my gosh, this woman is a force. She is cool. She's got her stuff together. I want to be in her circle. I just would like to be in her sphere because she's beautiful. And then you always were glowing and you are glowing and you always have such great style and just grace and panache. And since the day that I met you way back when to now, I feel like nothing's changed when it comes to that. So we're honored to have you a part of the Bare Naked Women Show.
Well, I'm very honored to be here, ladies, with you. And I love you both. And I've known you, Pamela, for many, many years. And I would say the same thing about you. I always wanted to be in your world too. And of course, now, Jen, you're a new friend and I want to be in your world.
I want to be in your world too.
It's mutual.
I love it. Okay, so we always start out with our guests with a cheers. So let's raise the glass. Cheers.
Please note the logo on my glass. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Branding. Way to go. Jen, what are you drinking?
I'm just finishing off some Maker's Mark, but just like a little bit. But we do have next up is the Wilderness Trail. That's a good single barrel. Shout out to Single Barrel Select. Shout out to Potomac Wine and Spirits. Love the guys over there. It's a father and two sons owned on Wisconsin. So, that's not an ad. That's just an endorsement.
Yeah, well, maybe they'll give you a couple of free bottles one of these days. Kristina, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a beautiful white Sauvignon Blanc from Napa Valley, made by the Cliff Family Winery. And this was a gift by one of my networking buddies who invited me to a virtual wine tasting. And there's like 4 bottles of wine in there. So this one was left over. Drinking it tonight.
The virtual wine tasting, I mean, you can never get enough of that because then the bottles are in your home or in your office.
Yeah, what's not to like, someone's like, can I mail you some food and alcohol for a virtual tasting? I'm like, sure.
Yeah, like
what else am I going to do tonight?
Oh, also, Pamela and I were actually just talking about this prior to BNW tonight. And we were saying, like, again, listen, I love going out to restaurants, but I feel that like the tasting you might get in, IRL, which is a millennial term or Gen Z term for in real life, you actually can get more out of these tastings. They're like, let me ship you 4 bottles of wine, not just like have this, like you get a little small glass of each. So
true.
Winning.
So true. The silver linings, linings. Absolutely. And so I don't have anything special right now. I was drinking a Sancerre earlier because I feel like it's Sancerre saison. But then I decided to put a Pinot Noir in this big, giant bubble goldfish bowl of a glass, which let's see how, maybe by the end of the show, I might not have any more left. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, Nancy. Thanks for
That's a nice comment. I was like, I can't not show that.
Nancy owns a limousine service in New York.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now I know when I go to New York who I need to talk to.
That's right. Talk to me and I'll book it with Nancy.
Oh, perfect. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Use your connections. Use the connections. So let's dive in. You have been, because I stalk your pictures, obviously, Kristina, you have been enjoying some lovely, beautiful places. You've gone on some jaunts and some sojourns, all of which as I'm living vicariously through you. So tell us a little bit about what you've been up to.
Well, I just got back from Huntington Beach in California, which is where, my two of my daughters, I have 5 children. 2 of them live in Los Angeles. Broke my heart when they moved. And they live in Santa Monica. It's a tough life for those girls. And they're living the dream. And I was invited to a live conference in California for the limousine industry, for the California Limousine Association. And I thought, I'm going to go because I want to know what's going on in the industry. And I want to talk to other operators. I want to see people. I'm an introvert that's been very lonely this year. So I really wanted to see people. Of course, I got to see my daughters celebrate their birthdays. And the weather was just stunning out there.
Oh.
I love California.
Yeah.
It's just like a different vibe. When you're there, it's like you have to work, but it's just not as stressful. It's just like, okay, it's just a different vibe.
It is. It really is. It is so just gorgeous. I mean, I love looking at the palm trees and the sky and the ocean.
I know. I used to go out there all the time, that way before Baby Frasier. And I was like, oh my God, the food. I would eat a piece of lettuce and I'm like, this piece of lettuce is the best piece of lettuce I've ever had in my entire life. And then as soon as my plane would be, descending here, I'm like, my stomach, I'm like, oh my God, I feel the tension. I feel the tension of being in like the Washington, D.C. area. And just, it's so less tense out there and such a different feeling and energy and so cool. And vitamin D. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Definitely. So also because, I mentioned that you're glowing.
You are glowing. I mean, I've seen this. I mean, it's almost in the last interview we had around mental wellness, but you've been glowing.
I think maybe you have a little tan. That is why I'm glowing. It's got to be it.
That's my problem. I need to actually get a tan.
I'm just trying to tan right now, like with my shoulders, with my neon light or my like LED lights, because I think I'm getting sunburned by them. So that's why I exposed the shoulders so I can get some sun right now. Like I'm in an island in DC.
If you get like strap marks,
then we know you can actually. I mean, I'm actually always in a tanning salon in my office. That will be minorly concerning.
That's not going to be good at all. So, Kristina, besides traveling and seeing your kids, what other stuff have you been doing to kind of feel like to get that glow and feel joyful? Because I know, you just mentioned that you're an introvert that's just ready to.
An extrovert. I'm sorry. Did I say introvert?
You did say introvert, but you know what? I know you're an extrovert.
Yeah, extrovert for sure. So that's a really good question. And I will say, I believe the pandemic has had many, many silver linings. When it first happened, of course, I was very depressed and I was drinking too much wine and baking. My daughter and I would make different kind of cookies every night and we'd eat them all. And then the next night we're like, okay, what are we going to make? So I gained 17 pounds in about 6 weeks. And I thought to myself, well, if I just keep on gaining weight, I'm going to be even more miserable. So why am I doing that to myself? And hey, by the way, for the first time in my life, I don't have to go to wine and cheese parties every night. I'm not networking and having breakfast, lunch, and dinner out with clients and networking buddies. And I thought, this is my chance to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I went on this program, and Cynthia DiLorenzi, do you remember her?
Mm-hmm. Yep, love her.
Cynthia told me about this program, and I got it, and I was so excited. I lost 9 pounds my first week, and I said, okay, I need to distribute this product. I want to be a health coach. And I got trained to be a health coach. And so now, not only did I lose 30 pounds total, but I decided I wanted to share this great program with other people. And because I wasn't as busy at work, it was really kind of fun to have some coaching clients and advise them. And I've helped about 15 ladies lose 20 to 40 pounds. It's been great.
Gosh. And that
That's
must make you feel
amazing.
so good.
Oh, yeah, it's great. And the program is easy to follow. It's not like intermittent fasting where you have to starve yourself. You eat every 3 hours. It just has to be something healthy and, no carbs, sugar, dairy, or alcohol. No wonder the weight came off.
Boo.
When my found out I went through the pandemic without drinking, they're like, how did you do that? Cheers.
Cheers. Well, it was just, getting to a place where then you could start indulging again, right? It's like, but moderation.
Once I got to my ideal weight, then the way I just kept it off was by following the program during the day. And then that allowed me to have like a glass of wine with dinner. So it all worked out great.
I mean, did you have to, so are you cooking now? How are you like maintaining a healthy diet now?
For me, like I don't cook that often, DoorDash is my best friend, and 2 kids still live with me. So it's not just me. And then I have a housekeeper that comes twice a week, and then she'll do a lot of meal prep for the kids. So I just stick with, protein, vegetables, and a glass of wine. I try and stay away from the carbs, and that has been how I've been able to keep it off.
Yeah. Gotta have some discipline.
Yeah. But of course you can, the word, we don't like to use the word cheat.
Mm-hmm.
We use the word, we make choices, and, it's not about like going the rest of your life without having what you want. You just have to have it in moderation.
And moderation is always, I think, the key word. Where I always, when I was, this is really when I went to college, and I realized that wow, pizza, all this alcohol, all this stuff, like that's gonna not do well with you. So then I realized, like, I'm going to just, if I choose to have a dessert, I'll have dessert and I won't have alcohol. If I choose to have alcohol, then I won't have a dessert. So it's kind of like that whole mindset of moderation, because then it's kind of like after that reset, you can realize that. And then frankly, I really think you're just kind of like, you have this lifestyle of eating those protein and veggies are yummy. You're getting so fueled and energized by them that it's just like, that's what you actually crave more so than the
junk food.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did this thing where and Jen knows this, every once in a while I'm like, okay, this is it. I am taking out, and it's always this list. It's pizza, cheese, chips, meat, I say burgers, and there's something else that I take out of my diet. French fries. And
fries. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
French fries. And there was like, do you eat that often? And I'm like, yes. So it's crazy. I shock my body. And I did it, I think, like in October. I started in October, and then I went through part of November, and then I went down to see some friends down at their beach home in the Outer Banks, and I just fell off the wagon. But I lost probably 8 pounds during that course just by not eating that I just was like, oh my gosh. And dessert, I wasn't eating dessert or anything. Then I went down to that beach house, and I'm like, and then I gained you gain more back because it's like you surpass and I was like, oh crap, I got to do this again. But it is interesting how you just, when you remove certain things, that you don't even miss them after a while.
Yeah, it's true. It takes, I think they say 3 weeks to create a new habit or get rid of a bad habit. And once you get through those 3 weeks, you're good.
Yeah. Well, I know this. The drinking of the wine will always be a good habit in my life. That's going to be a good.
Well, that's the thing, Pamela, is that's not a problem if you don't have the chips and the pizza and the cheese and all those things too every single day. So that's where it gets a little dangerous, right? I remember when I was quarantining, like we all were, seriously quarantining, and Kristina, I can vouch for this, where it's like, well, what is going on? Let's just have all the cookies and whatever. It was vacation every single day. So, and I was with my family and I was like, potato chips? Sure. Like, oh, it's 2:00 on a Wednesday. I'm hungry. Potato chips. Were typically that would not be in my regimen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, I would still work, but it was like the potato chips were there and I wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, that's something to slip up.
We've got all the food in our pantry and the food in the fridge. Yep.
Oh yes, and it just looks at you and looks at you. Well, let's not talk about food anymore.
I might order some Utz potato chips today.
Like it's getting me hungry too. So during the past year, and this is something we inquire of all of our guests, and this is not the Flourishing 5. This is not our recommended regimen, but I'm curious to know, did you discover anything, maybe even about yourself, or get into something interesting or new that was helpful from the perspective of beauty or self-care, and we always say also mental wellness, because it's all holistically how you feel about yourself. It shows from the inside out, that you think you never would have had you not been in like a lockdown situation.
Well, I mean, the first thing I'd like to say about that is having had the 5 kids and owning a business and being the CEO, I had to have a self-care regimen years ago, or I probably would have had a nervous breakdown. Because, during the week, and I was the breadwinner of the family, my ex-husband stayed home with the kids. And so I had the stress of running the business during the week. And then on the weekends, he would just say, I've been with the kids all week. Now it's your turn. And my weekends would be all about the kids. And so about 15 years ago, I started getting a massage once a week. And I used to say, I'm either at my employee's disposal or my kids. And that 1 hour was just for me. And I looked forward to it every week and I enjoyed it. And I always felt like it kind of reset me. And then years later, I was introduced to this woman that does Reiki. And so that is energy work. And so I see her once a week for 90 minutes. And she does Reiki, reflexology, and massage on me. And honestly, that is like one of the secrets to my success, because that one session kind of clears my energy and takes away stress, and it quiets my mind. And I think as a CEO and a mom, it's hard for you to ever have peace of mind or quiet moments. And that the 90 minutes every week just kind of resets me and rejuvenates me. And then I'm ready to tackle whatever challenge comes my way. But I've been doing that for a very, very long time. And then that same lady that does Reiki on me was trying to get me to do yoga for years. I think 7 years, I told her no. Finally, 2 years ago, I started doing yoga. And yoga has been life-changing for me. I do 90 minutes of Kundalini yoga 3 to 5 times a week. Now, when the pandemic hit and we couldn't do it in person anymore, I did it by Skype, and did not get as much benefit from it because I'm a cheater. When she does something I don't like, I just do something else, right? If I'm in the studio, I'll kill myself to do it correctly. But if I'm home alone looking at it on Skype, I'm a cheater.
No, you're making a different choice.
Yeah, it's just my body doesn't move that way. Trust me. I'm like, what is going on here on Peloton app? Like, I am not moving my body that way. I just go into I don't go into child's pose because I'm not gonna do that. But I'm just gonna start doing like ab work or something. I'm like, it's too much moving and grooving for me.
Well, that's great if you have a Peloton. That's great. That's great exercise.
Or the Peloton. Oh yeah, but the Peloton app too. They have yoga classes on there, so it's great. So it's yeah.
But I think the one thing that the pandemic, well, many, many blessings from the pandemic, honestly, but I had to give up being a control freak. I've always been type A, control freak, needed to, know what I was dealing with in my life. And with the pandemic, you can't do that. So I would come to work and the whole building would be empty, no cars outside. And I would just sit at my desk. I felt like I had to be sitting at my desk, and then I finally, about a couple weeks or maybe a couple months in, I was like, wait a minute, why don't I just go home? Why am I in the office all by myself? All my employees are working from home. I started working from home and I really enjoyed that. And I enjoyed spending more time with my pets. And I enjoyed gardening. I've always enjoyed gardening, but I did a lot of gardening this year. And so I feel like the kind of lifestyle I got from the pandemic was so much better than my lifestyle before, of like, felt like I was always running on a treadmill. Out, going to every event I possibly could. Very little downtime at home with my pets and in my garden. So I'm hoping that those two things will continue on in my life, and that I won't go back to that crazy rat race I was in.
Yeah. So
The hamster wheel.
The hamster wheel. So I got two questions for you. One, what pets do you have? And two, what have you been gardening? I'm always fascinated to hear about the gardening.
So when I was married, I lived in a house on some acres, and we had 3 dogs and 8 cats. And it was awesome because we had no mice. We kind of lived on a farm, and we had no mice. Of that gang, all I have left are 2 cats. They were cats that my other cat gave birth to at that house, I think in 2005 or something. So I've got 2 15-year-old cats. I really want a dog. I just didn't feel like I could take care of a dog with my lifestyle. Now that there's a pandemic, I probably could take care of a dog. And I'm telling myself that I didn't get one a year ago. But I would love to have a dog really badly. I would like to have either a yellow lab or a Bichon Frise. I used to have both of those. Or I would like to have a Labradoodle.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a dog in my future for sure.
I feel that for you.
Yeah.
Manifestation.
Put it out there. I'm just telling you, you know what, Kristina? I feel like you're pretty in tune with the universe. And when you put it out there, it's going to happen. So better start choosing a name soon, or if you don't already have one.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move on that. And I was thinking maybe just going to the shelter and getting a dog, rather than trying to get, something fancy or special or expensive.
Yeah. And how about gardening? I see beautiful flowers I know that you probably did not garden those behind you.
So I was living in a pretty big house with a pretty big garden, and I had it on the market for sale. So I went all out. My garden looked gorgeous. Lots of nice plants. I lived on a golf course. So lots of nice bushes. Sorry, I don't know the names of all of them. I'm not that good of a gardener. And just flowers everywhere. I just love that. I mean, I always have live flowers in my house as well. Yeah. Another thing that makes me feel good is fresh flowers in my living room and fresh flowers in my bedroom. I like to pamper myself that way.
Yeah. And it's so nice. It's like, it's something that's alive, that is in your home, that it's not necessarily like a plant that you have to keep alive, but it's because that the flowers will expire at some point, but then you get new ones, and there's like, it's this renewal, this freshness.
Yes.
Beauty.
Yeah. So those are some of my routines. The other thing that I discovered during the pandemic was this exercise hack. So a friend of mine, his name is Bernard Mustafa, and he and I were in a Vistage group together for maybe 10 years, sold his business, and he bought the rights to have this exercise studio, which is like an exercise hack. So you go in there, you work out for 20 minutes, and you get a 90-minute workout. So what they do is they put this vest on you that gives you electro muscle stimulation, so that while you're doing your 20-minute workout, it's stimulating your muscles so that you get a 90-minute workout. And for me, I'm short on time. And so if I can get a 90-minute workout in 20 minutes, I signed right up, and I've been going there since I think early November. In addition to yoga and walking and everything else.
It is all about the 20-minute workout. Like, if you can just be efficient, because I'm sorry, 90 minutes is a lot in a day. Like, you got to hit it and quit it, because it's like the 20 minutes and you feel like you got that 9-minute workout and it's efficient. I love that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to hear more about that offline, Kristina.
I'll happy to tell you more about that, and can give you the website. Their office right now is in Sterling, but they have the rights to the whole East Coast of the USA. Wow. And they will be expanding.
Do they have a 90-minute workout in 5 minutes?
No. Are you a cheater like me?
I mean, I have my yoga mat in my.
You have a yoga studio. Remember, Pamela? We have a yoga studio in
I
your.
have an official yoga studio behind me, and there's dust on the blocks and like the bat. It's just. I walk by every day and I'm like, I could totally unroll that mat, and I could totally get because I got the blocks and the this, and I'm like, I got the weights, everything. It looks so pretty in the nice little basket that I put it in. It became part of my decor. Oh my gosh. Well, I think it's about time for.
Wait, get the bell.
This is my favorite time. Jen, we need to have some music. Not now, but we're.
Well, no, because remember I tried the music and you said that might be a copyright issue. And so I didn't do that anymore. I'm not trying to get legal involved, the Bare Naked Women show, since we're already bare naked women. So,
One of these days we're going to do like a whole little like fun little, I don't know, Jimmy Fallon type of like do for the Flourishing 5, which is again my favorite part of the show, where we ask our guest about 5 products or beauty ideas or concepts or any of those fun things. Basically, this is my time that I get to learn and find out about anything that other people know about versus what I do. And then I like go to all these different websites and I start ordering everything and filling up my drawers and my closets. So the Flourishing 5, woo, it has begun. And Kristina, since you are our guest, you get to start. What is your first Flourishing 5 beauty product, health product or thing?
So it would have to be the Reiki. That qualifies, right?
No, yeah, of course.
100%.
Getting energy work has to be number 1. I would say probably number 2 has to be yoga. If I think about what that has done for me, it's been amazing. I felt like an old lady before I started doing yoga. I was always kind of stiff and cranky. I did yoga. It took probably 6 weeks at least before it stopped hurting.
Oh, wow.
But it just increased my flexibility, and I honestly felt 18 again after I'd been doing yoga for like 6 weeks, because it stretches all your muscles, your big ones, your little ones, the ones you didn't even know you had, and you don't feel stiff anymore, and you just have more energy. So yoga would be number 2. I would say that that exercise hack is right up there, because I can get 90 minutes in 20 minutes. So that would have to be a Flourishing act as well. Mm-hmm. Another thing that I do is I do transcendental meditation.
Okay.
Oh, so, that the TM. Yeah, we are going to have a serious conversation after this.
So that's 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the evening. And I'll say that I did it religiously like that for a couple of years. And I would say now I'm down to about maybe 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. But I see a lot of value in that as well. And again, it's about sort of like quieting the mind and giving yourself a chance to kind of regroup. I think that would have to be up there on my list. And then I would have to say that I guess the 5th one would be the exercise program I'm on, where I eat, 6 small meals a day instead of 3 big meals a day. I think that is a lifestyle choice that I've made that will help me keep the weight off for the rest of my life. And I like the program a lot. I like eating every 3 hours, and you eat protein, and with the perfect sort of magic formula of vitamins and probiotics. And when I went and had my CEO physical, my doctor said, don't stop what you're doing. My cholesterol went down to 100. Oh my God. He told me I was 57 at the time. I just turned 58. He said, you're in better shape at 57 than you were in at 37 because of this eating 6 times a day and, focusing mostly on protein and that good stuff. So that would be my Flourishing 5.
Isn't that powerful what the body can do? Like if you really truly lean in and take care of it, like it will respond nicely in your favor. That's powerful. I love that. Also, I will say, I've already used, so this is not because Pamela's going to go first for hers. But I will say I've used Reiki as one of my Flourishing 5 before too, where I did, you don't even realize the energy that your body has until you experience Reiki.
Yeah. and you don't realize the energy you pick up from other people.
Yep.
And if it's negative or toxic or depressing, it affects you. And especially like when you're traveling and you're on an airplane with all those people and you're in an airport, it's really important to like take a shower when you get home and get your Reiki, as soon as you can.
The blue bubble that you have to put around you when you shower so you can shield out everyone else's noise.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like the Gen Pop. The Gen Pop is boo. I don't like Gen Pop. I don't like going into crowds of people where there are a lot of strangers. But that's for other reasons too. So before I go into sharing my one, Kristina, I have to ask you. You have these great practices, but do you have to alternate day? Do you say Tuesdays Reiki, Thursday? Yeah. How do you have to schedule?
I have a complete schedule. Reiki is every Monday at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then my WB20 workout is every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. And then I work out with another trainer at my house Wednesdays and Fridays at 8:30 in the morning. Yoga is when I wake. Meditation is when I wake up in the morning and then right before I eat dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then the yoga right now is something I have not done religiously. I do some yoga stretching every day, just to keep sort of like injuries away. But I really need to get back to like yoga in the studio so that I can be held accountable.
Yeah.
And do it. So I have my schedule. My schedule is very regimented and packed. And if I don't put it on the calendar, it's not going to happen. So yeah, I have to have the same schedule with exercise every week.
So why I'm curious why the meditation right before dinner?
I don't know. That's what they recommend. You're supposed to do it before you eat your dinner. There's something about how that's sort of like a certain part of your day and that you should do it before you get to dinner and your evening. Like you're not supposed to do it. Probably if you did it like right before you went to bed, you'd just go to sleep, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably designed to do before you get to that sort of third part of your day.
I actually love that because I've found that I have a really strong morning routine, but my evening routine, like it's a little convoluted where it's like, I think right before dinner, and I do sleep meditation, of course, but if I did something right before dinner where like you enter in that next iteration of your day, it's just a good reset into the evening. So you don't bring that energy into the evening where sometimes I feel which I feel like there is that convolute where my spiritual guide told me to, do my gratitude at night. And I was like, I think I need to do my gratitude in the morning because that's where my brain is more. Like that's my time with myself. But I love the reset before dinner because we just unpack the day there and then enter into the evening with, a clearer mind.
I do have a gratitude journal and I write in it in the morning and in the evening. There's a part where you're supposed to write down anything great that happened that day.
Yeah.
Right before you go to bed. And then you wake up in the morning and you write in your gratitude journal when you first wake up. And I've been doing that for years as well. So that really should be in my top 5.
Yeah.
It's a great way to live and just focus on the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. As I mentioned, I was kind of depressed when the pandemic hit. And I honestly thought I was going to go out of business. I thought, okay, I can't recover from this. I had $1 million in deposits I had to refund, and I had to lay off 300 people. And I thought, I can't recover from this. Thankfully, of course, we got the PPP loan and that stabilized the company. But I don't remember where I heard this, but I heard that when you are feeling down, take out a pad of paper and write down the top 20 best moments of your life. Wow. And that was so cool. And I couldn't figure out which one was better than the next. And I made this long list of the best moments of my life. And then it said, like, whenever you're feeling down, just read it. Yeah. And that is such a great way to get out of a funk,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, we always talk about how with Bare Naked Women, how to feel fabulous and feel beautiful, it is from the inside out, And of course, we love our beauty, here's how to do this and here's some fun mascara and lip stuff and like other ointments and things that we do talk about. But there's nothing if you're feeling horrible in the inside, it doesn't matter how much paint you put on your face and ointments you put on your face and skin and stuff to your hair, you're still going to not have that glow that you have. That is you got to take care of this holistically before you paint all this, which, I mean, again, I love doing the paint stuff, but you're not going to feel beautiful if you don't know that you're taking care of yourself from the inside out.
That's great advice.
I don't know where that came from. I hope we're recording this so that I can go back and write it down. I'm just kidding. I know we are recording this. So my one Flourishing 5, because the hosts are only allowed to have one. It is nothing as deep and amazing as Kristina's, so I kind of feel like dopey coming after you. But so I have this. Okay, this is Better hand sanitizer spray with extra moisturizer, and it kills 99.9% of the germs. It has vitamin E. It's by Wish, and it comes in all these different like little flavors, lemon and aloe vera. The reason why I like this is because, first of all, some of these gels that we are using have some bad ingredients in them. And one, they really rip apart your hands. And two, there's been some like toxic ingredients in there. And also it's like your hands feel like they're like gloved and disgusting. And this is really helpful for me. So I have 4 of them, and I like one in my car, one in my purse, one, wherever, blah, blah, blah. And I always think it, because when I take my dog out for a walk, I always want to have this with me just in case for anything. And it smells good. And just like boom, boom, boom. And it's dry.
Where did they sell it?
I got it on the Zon, as in the Amazon. So I will, it's just Wish. And I actually, because I Googled oh my God, it smells really good. This actually smells good. Because some of that stuff smells really disgusting. Some of those hand sanitizers smell like, oh my gosh. So I will put the link in our show notes, but just like it's like the little things. You want to not feel disgusting while you're feeling sanitized. So that's mine.
Yeah, that's great. Hard to find good sanitizer.
Yeah.
Love it. I have 2 things because, but they're the same from the same place. So I need to get more in love with her, but I did buy a new agenda, which has a lot of routine stuff in it. So it's not necessarily like, I'm not going to write my agenda in here because that's what my phone's for. But things that I scribe, which comes down to a lot of my self-care and, meditation work, is why I really resonated with this agenda, because it's kind of like, your habit tracker. And so I'll be using it for that, and also just kind of goals and intentions. And I got this from Duly Noted. It's a new small business that opened up in Georgetown, stationery, adorable stuff. And then, of course, since you buy agenda, you also need really cute pens. So I bought this great calligraphy pen set. Now, I do not calligraphy. I can dabble in it, but calligraphy pens actually makes me practice my cursive. So those are my two little Flourishing 5s.
Very cool.
Well, what about the recommended routine? What is that? Don't we have a recommended ritual or routine?
Yeah, that's the last topic.
Okay, I'll go. Just because I love this. And because you got me all inspired, so this is, I just cracked myself up. So these are to-do little cards, and they're also on the back. So why is this important to me? Because I do a to-do list. I have like 5 to-do lists every single day, including on the weekends. And you know what I put them on? Random pieces of paper, Post-it notes, notebooks, everything. They're all over the place. They look ugly. I can't even understand my handwriting. And it bothers me. So when I found these, 1, it's cute, and 2, it has a date, and 3, it forces me to actually be really neat about how I put every single item in, and that keeps me a lot more organized. And it's as a fellow control freak, Kristina, I like to make sure that what I'm doing is a lot more. If I'm going to be organized and getting things done, let me make sure that that list is actually organized. And I do like looking at it because it's so cute and it's pretty and neat versus like the mess that I typically have. So it's good for my sanity to just keep that all.
That's awesome.
And scary as well, I know. Kristina, how about you? Do you have any other?
I mean, my daily rituals other than exercise and meditation would have to be writing in my gratitude journal.
Yeah.
And, I do feel so grateful and feel so blessed with 5 healthy kids, a healthy business. Out of my 450 employees, only 3 got the virus.
Oh my God.
And nobody passed away, thank God. And, my clients have been healthy, my employees, my family. I just feel very blessed about that. So it's really important for me to remember those things and write them down twice a day.
Yep.
When I wake up in the morning and before I go to bed.
Absolutely. That is wonderful. Jen, how about you?
Yeah, well, just to echo on Kristina's point, I think, going back to gratitude, we were on this, and when we spoke originally with my first conversation with you, Kristina, was all about this whole hamster wheel where we're like, what, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? And then it's like, oh no, there's this whole change. And then how do we pivot? And I would just like to to reiterate how awesome that is of how you did pivot, and like really the strength that like that's the stories that we need to be telling more now, is like your story, Kristina, and like Pamela's or whoever's story of these uplifting stories, rather than the negative of where there's been so much negativity, where it's like, how can we look at it in this other way? So I just wanted to pause and say that before I go into my routine. So as I look, this is my homework for the week from my spiritual guide, which I always print out as an email. I think my big one's going to probably be trying to take more breaks to get outside. It's an intention that I've had, and it's like very hard when you're like at your desk from, I don't even count riding my bike on my stationary bike on my balcony as outside, because it's not as much as I like to tell myself it's not. So I've been really just trying to get outside if it's walking somewhere, because I think that's when you get out in the universe, that's when your ideas really come out and creativity happens. So that's something I'm trying to do more and more of.
That's great. I agree. That's a great plan.
So I'm going to throw one other thing in there, because I forgot about this, and I think it's fun for everybody, but especially now that it's spring, I get dressed every day. I get dressed every day, and I know that's
as opposed to not getting dressed every day.
No.
You stopped wearing sweats to Zoom meetings?
I actually, it was almost unintentional, but it ended up being now more intentional, where I started ordering fun, very floral outfits and dresses and tops and like kind of flowy pants and whatever, where maybe nobody sees me except for the people who see me walking my dog, or if I happen to be on a Zoom call or a Teams call where there's video. But it's really, it's for me. It's for me to feel like I'm wearing something other than like the hoodies that I was wearing all, winter, or the leggings that I was wearing all winter. And it's kind of like that spring awakening to put something fresh and flowery on. And I noticed that you're wearing flowers as well, Kristina.
And that's new from the pandemic. I used to always wear solid colors, and I realized that I felt like I had to jazz myself up a little bit. And it's another reason why I lost weight, because I was looking at my face on Zoom going, oh my God, cookies. I see them everywhere. And it was me being, just not liking what I saw that really woke me up. I'm going to lose the weight, get healthy. And I like to wear clothing that has patterns now.
Yeah.
And I like to wear bold earrings too.
Yeah.
Like, because if you don't, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
And so I try and wear red lipstick and extra makeup and flowery tops just so I don't blend into the wall.
Or just like, I think too, I mean, I do think that camera always adds an extra 10 pounds, but it doesn't matter. That's the 10 pounds that you see on top of it. So like, let's just like, if I have to stare at this screen all the time, let's just feel good doing it, right? If it's an extra lip, if it's an extra poof, if it's a haircut, like it's an extra shoulder, let's just go. Let's do it.
That's my way. In fact, I have to tell you something funny. I was on a call with the Women Who Mean Business, and very, very successful women in Washington, and a lot of them had their hair in buns and were wearing their yoga pants on this call. And I was wearing this red off your shoulder top with red lipstick. I did my hair, and someone said to me, "Why are you all dressed up?" And I'm like, this is my only chance to make an impression. I'm gonna take it. And I picked up a really good client that night. She uses me for SUVs to go to events all the time now.
Well, you know what? If I saw you in that, it's like, that's the whole thing. Now, I am the one with the bun and the hair and like a sweatshirt. Having said that, I'm behind my desk and your business. So I was like, if I want, when you dress like that, I want to be in your car, Kristina. That's the whole thing. Like, it's like when I do get dressed at night, like I want to get in a car where I feel like for me, it's like I don't get out as much anymore. So you want to look at, it's like, I just love that, because it's a luxury. It's like, it's an experience.
Yeah. Yeah. You will not see me on a Zoom call with my hair in a bun, no makeup, wearing yoga pants. Now, a lot of people look great that way, and I'm not criticizing anyone. I don't.
It's a look. It's like it's a look. And frankly, like, I think that's what the cool thing is, that when I just kind of worn it, you kind of embrace yourself, because it's like, I typically now I wear my baseball cap in like a zip up for, and it's a professional zip up on some of my podcasts, but it's like, that's the look, but it's like kind of the look for how you want to, because for me, like, and this is business. It's like, if you did have the bun on your head and the sweatshirt, I would think, if I'm going to get in a Reston limo, is it going to be casual like that? Like, no, like, you want to dress for that. Like, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're young and cute, you can get away with a lot more things.
Oh, you are young and cute.
You are young and cute. I would love to see you in your yoga outfit and like.
All right, I'll send you a picture.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it is funny. Like, before we wrap up, my little funny story is that I every once in a while I will actually get ready in the morning versus halfway through the day. And you ladies know that I jabbed myself in the eye this morning, and I was freaking out, and my eye actually recovered. Thank God. Probably because I did not put my contacts in, and also because, I don't know, but I was very happy that my giant red bloodshot eye is not, scaring everybody here. But one of the companies that I work with, C3 Integrated Solutions, typically whenever we're on our calls with clients, it's always, teams, and we're dealing with IT folks and CISOs and CTOs and so forth, and nobody gets a video. Every once in a while, the client, whatever, will pop up. And I'm always the one who's like, okay, fine, I will get on the video. Today, this morning, was the day that somebody got on the video, and I was like, oh my gosh. So my big red eye was like on it. I was like, oh. So, you never know. You could be all dressed up and feeling great for a video call, and you have a giant red blood vessel popping out of your eye. Hopefully we won the deal. But anyway, I digress. Ladies, this has been so much fun. Kristina, we loved having you on. I've learned a tremendous amount, not just about you, as I always do, but about the beautiful practices that you put into place in your life, that you shared with us so generously. And I feel like a lot of our audience will gain a lot and hopefully put some of those into practice as well. I love especially the gratitude journal in the morning and in the evening, and the meditation before dinner. That's really cool as well. Is there anything that you want to leave us with?
Well, I just want to encourage everyone to always focus on the positive and find the silver linings, because spending more time with family and pets and at home in a really cozy environment is great. And in fact, for my employees, we're going to have permanent work from home policies, not for everybody, but for as many as I can, and I have to say my team has been amazing. They haven't skipped a beat. It hasn't mattered that they weren't in the office. And I think I'm not alone in that. Every corporation in America is realizing that right now. So we don't know what the future will look like, but I'm just so proud of my team for being there for me, being loyal, working so hard, and helping us get through this time. So I hope you all embrace that.
Thank you. Well, they have a great leader.
Thanks.
Jen, do you have any parting words?
No, I mean, frankly, it's been such a pleasure to, have Kristina on our mental wellness podcast, and then also kind of expand on that conversation tonight with a more of a personal aspect. And frankly, I think that, women like us who kind of are just kind of keeping that positivity moving forward, where I was talking to another friend of ours, Pamela, or your friend, Marissa Potts today, it's all about, we're talking about media and PR and, it's the power of storytelling, of being able to connect everyone during these times in a positive reinforcement way, rather than basking in that we already know the SHIT that's there, right? How can we just uplift each other? So, Kristina, you're a force to be reckoned with. You're an amazing human. I'm just happy to have you on the show.
Well, thank you, ladies. It was so much fun. It was just not your traditional podcast. It was, relaxed, and we got to drink wine and we got to share great stories. And I learned a lot from you guys too. I really appreciate everything you taught me tonight.
Oh my gosh, I love you. I have the goosebumps. And I mean, as I always say, I'm going to touch the screen like you're in prison. You just touch the screen, not the screen.
Okay. That's a.
How they're like, hey, touch this. Like, I'm going to put my hand up against the wall. Anyway, so that's
okay. Let's just shout out Nancy again. She said, "Thank you, Kristina. This conversation was uplifting, empowering. We're not empowering. We're not in prison."
Nancy's the best.
Oh my gosh! All right, one last cheers.
Yes.
All right.
Cheers.
Logo there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Chance to really talk about my company tonight. So it is Reston Limousine. In the tri-state area, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia. We go all the way down to Virginia Beach, Baltimore, West Virginia. But we can provide a car anywhere in the world through an affiliate network, including Nancy. If you need a car in New York, you're going to get Nancy's company.
That's awesome. I didn't know about Virginia Beach. That's amazing.
Down there.
Wait, I actually really like that idea, like this idea side note, because it's kind of like you want to be able to kind of have that same service and like in different cities when you go around.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Always ask me. I'll help you. I'll set it up for you, and I can get you the best of the best all over the world.
Well, I've already probed you. Now that it's getting warmer out, I'll be we already had that initial
We can do a wine tour, the three of us and a few more friends.
We're so doing this.
I'll provide the vehicle.
Oh my gosh, we could actually do a little live bare naked women show or something.
Let's do it.
Oh my
gosh, let's do that. That'll be great for the winery too.
Yep.
Okay, this is done. We're gonna sign off now because
now you know why I'm the cruise director. Okay?
Wait,
let you guys
Kristina, so many sideline conversations that need to be done after this. So I love it. We're going to sign off 5 minutes early so we can actually talk to Kristina offline now.
I know, Kristina, whatever you do, don't go away because we're going to talk to you offline. And everybody, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Bare Naked Women. We do have a new YouTube channel. Please watch. Please make comments and suggestions and all that other good stuff of ideas and concepts that you would like to hear from us. And if you have a guest that you think would be just as good as Kristina Bouweiri or any of the other guests that we've had on before, you are more than welcome to pitch us, because we would love to hear what she has to say. So thank you, and we're signing off, and have a great night.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye.